Alright, what's up guys? It's Mitch or Deity, and here's another video I wanted to cover over this patch. This will be the last one. So with this patch coming up, RTA is going to be seeing this is a major change. So the Battle Frenzy improvements. One of the things that they added into this is you can now check which Frenzy you're in and how long until the next Frenzy, I do believe. So you can kind of plan out when to make your, say if you're using Spectre TB or whatever, you can figure out when you want to do your onslaught of Soulburn S1s or when that right moment's going to be. So it just allows so much more flexibility playing against those tanky knight slash soul weaver only drafts. So I think they might have went a little bit overboard. I'm going to say this right now. I feel like this is going to essentially kill those knight slash soul weaver teams because of just the damage ramping, the max health minimizing, the healing going down so fast because it starts at Battle Frenzy Stage 3. That's pretty early into a match. So it won't change much between Cleave and... so for Cleave players, you still need to win right away. For those early game tank players that have a little bit of damage, like the bruisery tank players, Imal Crow on high damage, and like Fire Ravi, stuff like that, that hopefully you can get enough damage going back onto them, which I guess you're not going to pick Fire Ravi into Cleave, but the anti-cleave and cleave thing is going to be the same. I do not think this will make cleave any stronger at all. What I think this is going to do is make it one where crowd control players will now be stronger, making the Knight slash Soul Weaver meta weaker. Because right now, control is essentially dead once you get to a certain point in the ladder. Because to pick control, you have to have all your units synergized. And by your third pick, they see you're going for a control style, and control is countered by single units. Champion Zerato. Fighter Maya is a great anti-control. 15% is already in the game to go against control. So I think control, though, with this, getting the extra attack buff and the effectiveness is going to be huge. So that extra effectiveness boost later down the line isn't going to help control players that much because most of the time control players have to take the initiative from the start to gain control of the opponent. So turn one, it's still all about that turn one, hitting all your things on all their units. Another unit that counters all that is Ray. DJ Basar can kind of do it, but Ray does a better job. Momo can shut down control pretty well. So it's usually Destina if you build high enough effect res. Mix of Destina slash Ray with two bruisery characters that aren't going to die right away. That's like Alencia or Fire Ravi. That might be a good place to put Fire Ravi in this explanation. So I don't think it'll affect control turn one. It'll make it to where if you do somehow get a control draft off against your opponent and they don't have a way to counter you too early, then after a while you're going to be able to start hitting those rays, hitting those high effect resistance units. So control might see a little bit of a buff with this. But overall, this is going to speed up the play of RTA, and it kind of kills some players' play styles if it's as extreme as it looks here. So having the health and healing decrease right away, it's going to, like I said, make those Knight slash Soul Weaver comps just, no one's going to draft that anymore. So it's going to change the RTA meta for next season heavily, which I'm excited for, but I also feel bad for players who invested heavily into those kind of play styles, and that's their way of playing. They can't play that way anymore, and they're going to have to readjust the draft, which is fine, because I hated people who played like that against me. You pick two Soul Weavers, two Bruisers, and I tried to control you, because I used to be a control player, but control is so dead that I've moved away from that. I still, if I can get a control draft, I'll try to swing one occasionally, but it's a rare thing. But now I feel like this is a buff to any middle ground player. If you're not a cleaver and you are not a player who doesn't draft damage, if you're a player who plays that medium, the two, you draft some semi-tinky units. You might contest for turn one, but you can survive to turn three. Or well, even further, it's going to affect those players more, but it'll make the overall RTA experience just a much faster thing to where you cannot get stalled out of insane fights. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. My personal thought looking at it is they might have went overboard. Control's getting a buff. Knight slash Soul Weavers are, you're not gonna, you have to draft some sort of damage in some capacity. If you don't, you're not gonna do too well. Fighter Maya is gonna be really good now, even better than before. So there's a couple units like that. Champ Z is gonna be even better now. There's few units will see a buff. If you have anything that you think's happening with this, comment your thoughts down below. But these are my personal things with this. Is it seems overall good, but I kind of am scared they went a little overboard. And which is fine. I mean, it's good for me, but I feel bad for those of you that do play those styles. So hopefully you can adjust, or hopefully this just isn't as bad as it looks at the start. But if you have any thoughts, comment down below. It's been Mitch or Deity, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.